Hello, good afternoon. This is David Sutter talking to you. And today is my weekly trade predictions for the upcoming trading week of May 18th through May 22, 2020. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at all the major forex currency pairs on a 30-minute time frame, and then I'm going to compare that to higher time frames, such as the 4-hour, daily, and weekly, and then give you my analysis of what I think is going to happen this coming week. Okay, so to begin with, if we look here on EURUSD, okay, we see that there's pretty much a flat range of market. Okay. And this is kind of the same scenario across most of the currency pairs right now, simply because everything's in like a gridlock. Okay, there's a lot of instability in the market right now, but do not let this scare you. Okay, this is actually a good time to trade when you see a flat range of market like this, because all you have to do is put all your charts on like a 15-minute time frame, and then trade from the arrow to arrow. Okay, so that's actually a good opportunity, a good time to trade. We are not looking for huge profits, of course, okay? Just small profits, maybe 100, 200 pips per trade, and that's plenty, okay? Get in, get out, all right? So that is, the basic analysis of what's going on this week. Now, if we look here on the higher time frame, which is the 4-hour, okay? If you look at the 4-hour chart, we have a down arrow. So it's been fighting to go down for quite some time, but it's got stuck here at this level right here, okay? And it has not really gone up or down. Now, if we look at the daily, you're going to see a little bit of a different story, okay? You're going to have an up arrow, and again, it never really formed an uptrend, did it? It did go up, but then back down, and we don't know exactly what's going to be happening. If we look at the weekly, we still have an uptrend forming, okay? But again, the past few weeks has just been riding sideways. So right now, the market is just flat, it's stagnant. There's really nothing you can do except put the charts on a 15-minute time frame like this, and just trade from arrow to arrow. Now, if you have two arrows like this, two blue arrows, you could actually technically place two trades. That's no big deal. But if you look here, like from this arrow to this arrow, you can get about almost 1,000 pips on one single trade. This one here, if you trade from here to here, that's almost 500 pips, right? That's a pretty good market move right there. And now it's coming back down. So I'm not going to tell you whether the market is going to go up or down this week, because everything's like stagnant right now. Okay, so definitely put your charts on a 15-minute time frame and just trade from arrow to arrow, and you should be perfectly fine. The long-term trend is definitely bullish, but that is yet to be seen. Okay, if we move on to Great British Pound US dollar, we see here on this one that is a kind of a steady downtrend, right? But again, the market is pretty stagnant. If we look at the higher time frame, which is a 4-hour, right, we have a pretty strong signal to buy. Okay, all the Great British Pounds, all the GBP pairs this week had a pretty significant drop. Okay, pretty steady drop this past week, which was kind of unexpected. Okay, I thought they were going to be going up, to be honest, but they did retrace and come back down. Now, if you look here on the 4-hour chart, we have a pretty strong support level. Okay. This does not mean that it's not going to keep dropping. Okay, it could keep dropping more, and I suspect that it probably will drop more. Okay, if we look here on a daily chart, we have an up arrow here that never formed a red arrow, but it's been fighting to go up for quite some time. The question is, will it be going up now? I don't think so, because look at this weekly candle right now. Okay, this past week, this candle has dropped significantly. Okay, and the weekly chart shows to go up, but yes, it went up and now it's coming back down again. So how far will it drop? That is to be seen. If we look right here at this candle that dropped, that is a strong support. So that is kind of an indicator that it could drop that far. All right, if we look here on the 1-hour chart, go backwards, and we just look at that, here is that support, and here's the price right now. So we're looking at about 1,400 point drop. So potentially it could drop that much more, at least in the beginning of the week. Okay, I would expect this to drop some more in the beginning of the week, and then we're looking at about Tuesday or Wednesday for it to start going back up. All right, now all you have to do, if you want to buy, like I said, right now is not a good time to buy, but what we can do is draw a trend line like this and just mark our resistance. Okay, mark our resistance like that, kind of, sort of. It's not going to be perfect, but you get the idea, okay? And what we're looking for is for this price to go back up and break this trend line. If you break by, say, 3 candles on the hourly chart, that's a perfect time to buy. All right. So this is going to take some time. We're going to see this drop, probably come back up and drop again, and then eventually it's going to break. So like I said, it probably won't happen until close to Wednesday sometime, and that's typically when we see a lot of strong reversals anyways in the market. So do keep an eye out for that. Do not buy the Great British Pound, the US dollar right now, and I probably would not even sell it right now. I would just wait until you get the perfect buy opportunity, and then you want to buy. Moving on to Australian dollar, US dollar. Again, we see kind of a flat range of market here with a slight downtrend. You see it hit this double bottom right here, okay? Hit this support 2 times. So the US dollar, the Australian dollar, has been working itself into an uptrend for quite some time. It's been very, very strong. And you see this past week it actually dropped some. So now the question is, will it be going back up again, or will it keep dropping? Now if we look on the 4-hour chart, we see that we have a red arrow but never formed a blue arrow. So with that said, you know, it should be dropping some more. But then again, you know, it's been bullish for so long, okay? The weekly daily chart and the weekly chart both show to go up. If I look at the weekly chart, it's going to show you basically the same thing. So right now it's really, really difficult to say if it's going to go up or it's going to go down. But if we look here, trying to think, well, it's hard to form a support line anyhow. Yeah, I can't really get a good trend line right here. But if we look at the support right here, okay, we mark this support right here, okay. That is a strong level of support. It was a resistance, now it's a support. So I could predict that the price is going to drop that far. If you come back to the hourly chart, we have the price right here is going up, but it looks like it's starting to come down right now. The markets are closed, of course, but I think the price is going to drop even more. Okay, it's going to drop back down to the same level of support and then bounce back up again. So I would be looking to buy the AUDUSD this week, but I would not buy right away. Okay. Simply because, you know, it's not at this level of support yet. Now if you go back to the hourly chart, what we can do is we see this downtrend right here, okay? Check this out, okay? It's not really perfect, but we have all these points right here that, you know, mark your resistance, okay? You see the price came back up here and it looks like it's starting to drop again. So what we want to do is wait, use the hourly chart, but wait for 3 candles to break above and then buy. Okay, typically you have 1 candle that shoots up, the second drop, and then the third finally go up. Okay, that's typically what will happen, and that is what we're looking for. And then once that happens, we can buy and hold long term. I would actually buy using the 1-hour chart, but that would drop down to like a 30-minute chart and wait for the next red arrow to close it out. Okay, so definitely look to buy the Australian dollar, US dollar, although it has been in a pretty much a flat range of market. So you could technically put it on a 15-minute time frame and trade from arrow to arrow. That's not so bad. But like I said, right now, just wait for this trend line to break and then you can buy. Okay, if you get another red arrow, then you can sell also. Okay, no big deal. Look at US dollar Swiss franc here, USD CHF. If we look here, we see a pretty much a flat range of market. Like I said, that's pretty much all the pairs right now. Everything's kind of stuck. Okay. Now I did predict the US dollar to drop this past week, and it did drop some, but then shot back up, and now it's just been like totally stagnant. So with the recent unemployment figures for the US dollar, US economy, it had really bad numbers, but it was a little bit better than expected. So that was kind of a plus for the U.S. economy, even though the U.S. economy is really hurting. All the economies are typically hurting, right? So everything's like in a fight right now. Everything's in a gridlock because everybody's suffering due to this coronavirus. So there's going to be a lot of range of markets, okay, a lot of instability in the market right now. but don't let that scare you, okay? Right now, with this being in a flat range market, all you gotta do is simply put on a 15-minute time frame and trade from arrow to arrow, just like this, okay? You'll be perfectly fine, okay? If you look at the 4-hour chart, let me look at the 4-hour chart. It has an up arrow, but it looks like it's starting to work its way into uptrend. If you look at the daily, it shows to go down. The weekly shows to go up. So you got a mixture of signals here. I think long term it's going to go up, but with the daily chart showing to go down, it should be dropping. All right, but everything is just in a gridlock right now. So the best solution is to put charts on a 15-minute time frame, trade from the arrow to arrow, and you'll be perfectly fine. Okay, so let's move on to US dollar, Japanese yen. Again, we see pretty much a flat range of market, right? Price ended pretty much where it began. So, like US dollar started to go up and then come back down again. Now we're just stuck in this flat range of market. So the question right now is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? We don't know. And I don't think it's going to form any new trends this week. Again, we need to just focus on the 15-minute time frame. Like I said, if you look at the 4-hour chart, it shows to be going down. It probably will, but I don't know. The daily chart shows to go up, and the weekly chart shows to go up as well. So long term is going to be going up. That is the best prediction right now. I would probably, if you put the chart on a 15-minute time frame, I would probably look to buy more than I would to sell. But then again, it doesn't really matter. You have some really good sell opportunities and really good buy opportunities. Now you do see here we had a sell and then it came back up again. So if you want to be 100% safe, you can put charts on a 15-minute, even 5-minute time frame, and look for buy opportunities only, simply because the daily and weekly chart show to go up. Okay, so I think long term is going to be going up, and we probably will see a slight uptrend this coming week. All right, so if you want, like I said, put it on a 5-minute or 15-minute time frame, and then wait for the buy signals and trade on those only. Okay, there's going to be good opportunities either way, I think. But then again, if we go by the longer term, you want to buy only. If we go to US dollar, Canadian dollar, again, just pretty much a flat range of market. The price did end higher than where it began, right? So we had a slight uptrend, which was interesting. I thought the dollar was going to drop, but both the US dollar, Canadian dollar last week had the non-farm payroll, right? Both had bad unemployment figures. So which is the lesser of the two evils? Which one's stronger? Well, obviously the US dollar is going to be stronger than the Canadian dollar. Okay, so the US dollar did gain more than the Canadian dollar, right? If you look here on the 4-hour chart, we see that the price, has a red arrow. The price never actually formed a downtrend. It's been steadily going up. If we look at the daily chart, it shows to go down, and the weekly chart as well. So long term, this will be dropping. Okay, you can just about bet that it's going to drop. But what I think, if I could draw a trend line, no, I don't know if I could draw a trend line. But what I think is this week we're going to see a drop. Okay, simply because the 4-hour shows to go down, the daily shows down, the weekly shows down. Everything's showing to go down right now. So what I would do, my best recommendation would be to put charts on a 15-minute time frame and look for sell opportunities only. It's more likely going to be in a flat range of market, so you could buy and sell. As you can see here, you have good opportunities either way. But to be on the safer side, I probably would look for sell opportunities. Right now is a good time to sell this USD CAD. So once you sell, wait for the next blue arrow, and then wait another day or so for the next sell opportunity again. But you probably only get one a day, maybe every other day, I don't know. Okay, but definitely look for sell opportunities only. That is the safest way to trade this particular pair. So anyhow, that concludes my weekly trade analysis. If you have any questions at all about this trade predictions, or have any questions at all about Forex, or you want me to look at any other currency pair, please hit me up on Facebook, and I will definitely be there to help you. there is a link below in the description of the video for my personal Facebook. Please contact me there first. Okay. Also, there is a link for my private Facebook group, and you can request to join my Facebook group, and you can post any questions or comments in my Facebook group. Okay. So with that said, thank you and have a wonderful week.